is over. It's official. It is history for the Princeton Tigers. For the first time in school history, Princeton is going to the Sweet 16. Just the fourth 15 seed ever in the history of the tournament to advance to the round of 16. Princeton 78, Missouri 63.
Princeton knocked off Arizona, then Missouri. Princeton has Creighton coming up on Friday, and their head coach in his 11th season, Mitch Henderson, joining us on the program. Are you surprised that you guys are going to Sweet 16, or how surprised are you?
I'm surprised. I would be lying if I wasn't. And it's so good to be with you, by the way. I'm such a big fan of your show. But the guys aren't. And I think that's the key. That's why we are where we are. And the other thing I will tell you, we don't have any transfers. That's sort of the thing in college basketball. It's really a homegrown group, one through first year through fourth year, and they're really close and tight knit group. So we have a guy on the team that speaks Chinese. Guy that can tell you every flag in the world by taking thermonuclear dynamics. So they keep each other humble and they have a really good time together. And I think that there's something special, as you know, in March when that happens. But
Coach, do you embrace Cinderella, or do you try to give it the Heisman?
No way. I think you got to embrace it, right? Like we have a really cool fan base here at Princeton, a passionate fan base about their school. And they love they love the attention. So we're embracing it. I think it's, that's key, especially on Friday night. We play a 9:05 game, get them nice and rowdy and embrace the improbability of it. Have a lot of fun with it.
Can you outsmart teams? And I'm not playing to the cliche of Princeton and, obviously the academics here, but how does that help you as a coach? I don't
think certainly thinking now of Creighton, I don't think you're outsmarting anybody. Although I would say that, savviness, high skill level, a commitment to doing the things that you need to do to win. And then, we have a group that's willing to do those things. To me, that's playing really good basketball. It might be considered smart, but, more, just more possessions, try to have more possessions in these games. You just got to win one, and then you get the next one. So I don't know, that's smart to me. Then I think I'll take it.
How often do you go back to 1996 with the upset of UCLA when you were playing for your team? Like, how much did they know about your role back in 1996?
Rarely. Thanks for asking that. And rarely, for me, I don't think it's wise to talk about your playing days. Although that picture's up all over the place here. I'm right here in the gym. I can't wait to take that thing down and put some Arizona photos up. All the parents, when they come on their visits, they're like, "We saw a picture of you downstairs. Boy, you could jump high." And I was like, "Not anymore." You want for your team for them to have their own memory, and they have that now. And I never went to the Sweet 16. I'm so happy for them, and our school is too.
And sometimes the team doesn't change, but the people around the team change. That now all of a sudden, you got everybody's attention. Whereas before, they're probably like, probably going to be a one and done. But hey, we got to the tournament.
Yeah.
Now it feels like the expectation level has jumped quite a bit here.
Good. Why? That's why I'm here. Coach Krill passed away this year, and we've been honoring Coach this year, but he'd be the first person to tell you he wanted Princeton basketball, and we always have thought of ourselves as we have been a nationally relevant powerhouse program. Now, that hasn't been the case in terms of us making the Sweet 16, but why not? Let's keep it going. Let's move the needle here and keep pushing it.
How do you recruit against other schools?
First we cast a huge wide net in terms of grades. That's the first part. Then we aim for the top 20 best players with grades in the country. And we're really simple. We're really upfront. We tell them all about what it's like to be a student athlete here. And again, I mentioned to you, guy on the team speaks fluent Chinese and wants to be Secretary of the State. And we celebrate those things, Dan. We talk about it all the time. Like, I don't think there's any hiding from that parents entrust us with their kids to say to the kids, no, you're going to be great at both school and basketball. Our guys are in school today. And my parents did that, and it changes your life. And it really changes your life forever. And we talk about that openly. And some people like it and others want something else. And I think that's the other part, is also saying no to families, to moving on in a situation where it's maybe not a great fit for you or the family, because there's an unrealistic expectation that, you're not going to maybe be willing to do everything you need to do to be a student here at Princeton, because that's the expectation.
But with the amount of money that's in college athletics now, and do you guys have NIL money at Princeton?
No, not the way other schools do. We have sort of a very different way of looking at it.
It's legal now.
It is.
You got an endowment that I think could buy you probably a national championship team.
Yeah.
But you don't do that.
No, and that endowment serves a very important purpose to the school, and that's far beyond me. What we do talk about, though, is the enriching experience of the 4 year. We don't have graduate school, professionalized graduate school here at Princeton. We, no med school, no law school. We really love and dive in on the 4 year undergraduate experience, the relationships with professors. And, I know you could, I know your sense of humor a bit, you'd be like, well, show me, where's the money, but we really dive in on the experience, the whole experience for the student athlete. And I think that's enriching in its own way. Now, look, like we're in the Sweet 16, so there's some opportunities for our guys going into this weekend that they can take advantage of.
We're talking to the Princeton head coach, Mitch Henderson. You grew up, though, in Kentucky. Weren't you in Lexington?
I was.
Did you grow up in Kentucky? Did you want to go to Kentucky?
Well, I grew up in Vincennes, Indiana. There's a junior college there called Vincennes Junior College. Then we moved when I was 12 to Kentucky, and Pitino was the coach. And believe it or not, on my junior high basketball team was Keith Willard, who's the head coach at Maryland, Gigi Smith, Tubby Smith's kid, who was, just was at High Point, and Darren Van Horn, who was the head coach at Northern Kentucky. All of these, Willard and Smith dads were on the assistant with Pitino. I mean, everybody wanted to play for Pitino. This was 1989, 90 when that really good Kentucky team was forming. They ended up taking Duke to the final game. So yeah, I wanted to go. I wanted to play for Pitino.
Did you cry after Duke beat Kentucky in the tournament with Christian Laettner's shot?
I was. What's funny? I was at Princeton on my visit at the Nassau End when Laettner made that shot. I didn't cry, but I was so in love with that team. Richie Farmer, Darren Feldhouse, Pelfrey, Sean Woods made a runner to put them up one. I loved that team, and I used to go in the driveway and practice that Sean Woods runner all the time. I hated Laettner, just like I wasn't crying.
What if Laettner said, "Hey, coach, I'd like to talk to your Tigers before they play Creighton"?
I would gladly welcome that. I loved that. Did you see that? I hate Christian Laettner.
Yeah.
I thought that was great, and I hated him because I was a kid. I didn't know anything different, but he was a killer. I would love to have him talk to the guys. I loved, he's, not everybody loved him, but he was such a great basketball player.
You get in these moments, and John Calipari talked about this after the loss to Kansas State. He said, not everybody's built for this. And he was talking about players. How do you know if your player is or isn't ready for a big moment like this?
We were at Dartmouth. Best way I can answer it, February 11th, we had a bad game. And I went into the locker room and I lost it. And, as much as I can lose it. And I was like, we got back to Princeton, and I was like, don't ever let that happen again, and what you're thinking about in that moment is we don't have it. We don't have it. And then we did. All of a sudden we did in February, and then this weekend it took on a whole new level. All of a sudden we were close with Arizona. We didn't lead until a minute left in the game. And the guys were just chatting nonstop. We would come back to the huddle and the guys were just like, we got this. And it was unanimous all the way around. It was just constant chatter. And if we had lost the game, I would have been so proud of them. But then it took on a whole nother level, and it's just grown. During the Missouri game, they were on fire, not just making shots. They were having the best time ever, totally responding to the moment.
Okay, be honest with me, with family members filling out a bracket. How many had you beating Arizona to start out?
Just my 10-year-old son. But he has us losing in the Sweet 16. And this morning at breakfast, he goes, "I'm regretting that decision."
Well, it's a great ride. Have fun. And do you have your speech ready for Friday?
Yeah, not quite ready. You got anything in mind?
Oh, gosh. Maybe you go Herb Brooks, the U.S. Olympic hockey team.
Yeah.
You're going to remember this for the rest of your life.
Come on. Why not? I think there's some good belief and thinking, why not us? So,
and I do love that slogan. Why not?
Yeah.
And it's,
I agree.
You got to believe in yourself before everybody else is going to believe in you.
And that's what got us here, honestly. So why not keep that going? Don't try to be something you're not.
Is why not us? Is that proper grammar? I went to Dayton, so
I'm not the right person. I'm in coaching.
But you got into Princeton.
I did by the skin of my teeth.
What were your SAT scores?
I don't remember.
Everybody remembers.
Perfect. No, I was on a show the other day. They were like, "Hey, we knew some." They were not too long ago. They were like, "You heard you had a 4.5 at Princeton," and I was like, off by several points. But I'm really happy to be here, and I work at the best school in the country, Dan, and I'm so thrilled to be representing us.
Just remember, Coach, C's get degrees.
Yeah. A friend of mine used to say D equals diploma.
Play some D against Creighton. Segue. Yeah. They got some guys who can score 30 on you. But congrats so far. Good luck.
Okay, thank you very much.
That's Coach Mitch Henderson, Princeton head coach, 11th season there.